the Eagle, expecting he was going to jump across. He absolutely had that part right. Just got the timing wrong. It's all on the aerial, 1-on-2, but caught by Zywoo.
That round's an observer's nightmare. Action was all over the shop at the exact same time, so a little bit difficult to see what was going on. But similar to a lot of ENCE's rounds, they were allowing their individuals to instinctually go for duels, cause a ruckus, as you put it, and make life very difficult on every single individual of Vitality, because as you're watching your line, as you're preparing for your position, if somebody else in the team is in a duel, communication is coming in. You're processing that information while still trying to focus on your crosshair. If somebody dies on your team, you're thinking about what the next logical rotation is. So your attention's being drawn away from your job of holding a spot on the map. You're able to stabilize and grab 6 to close things out. The longest streak of rounds just there was 5 in a row from the ENCE side to elevate them up to that 9 rounds. As we flick on over towards the CT side here, remember how we kicked off the half at absolutely blistering pace over towards that A bomb site from ENCE. Just obliterating that defense, and didn't really feel like they had to do anything special. The headshots all just came on in, so Buy will be coming on up as Alu does have a smoke. Alexi has 2 flashes and a kit. Alu hasn't bought anything else other than smoke, so he still has $500 residual. That might be a play to get the AWP up a little bit earlier, depending on how everything unfolds. And it is 5 sets of Kevlar as 4 players towards top mid for Vitality now. Ready to bust on out, and Alex over towards the B kitchen. So here they go.
Still with the pistol, still trying to do everything he can, still just sitting back with the USP. Sergey's gotten 1. Apex did get a kill this time against Alexi. The last pistol round was remarkably one-sided in favor of ENCE. Alex gets 1 back.
B's open for business, that's for sure.
Absolutely it is, and Alex is going to push through. Sergey, he's there, but looking through the window. I'm not sure he's aware Alex is quite so close. A couple of shots, Alex won't take the bait, won't go in. But as he checks the door, Alex is perfectly positioned to shut him down. If he walks forward, you could even knife him in the back. As he looks toward bench, that confirms his attention is drawn that far back. Still, though, Alex doesn't want to act. He doesn't need to. Bomb planted. He'll wait and see what his teammates do. Instead, finds the first, goes in, gets the second. Well played.
Good round from Alex there. One of those interesting situations, and this is just, I guess, situational Counter-Strike, is when Apex decides to pick from that bench position, you kind of want a duel, right? If he sees something you want to pick so you can like trade him or you can both get the kill at the same time. But if your teammate's going to do that and give away a fight that he might not necessarily have to, just bait him. Don't throw away the round or a potential avenue into the bomb site just because somebody else wants to get a little bit too audacious. If you know you're playing something fundamentally sound, stick with it. So, with a force buy from ENCE, they want to bounce right back into this. 2 players pushing the underpass. They're going to be able to clear that out quite quickly. Alu smoked out of position, and MBK watching the A play. So, timing here is RPK's enemy. He's being noisy. They do know he's coming. Accidentally 1 and 2. Can he get the Glock for the 3rd? He's going to tap away. Ooh, RPK has really put a stop to this force buy.
Banks' favorite player.
Close it down.
As Ariel goes through A main. He's got the CZ. Brilliantly done. Delivered by the tank. And it should convert this to 8. 9-8 would be our score as a result.
Oh, we have a game.
We do. Ariel's got game right now in this quarter, though. MBK never stood a chance. Got a Galil picked up. Fall back to the site with it, but it's going to go over toward B.
Yeah, and they're legging it there. That's the thing. But Alu already knows what's up. He might be able to beat them there towards Kitchen, and that scout, considering the HP of Alex and RPK, he just has to tickle them with this. So he's in position. Whoa, in between the 2 of them. That's all she wrote, I think. The bomb will go down. The round will be over. And maybe saving these 2 weapons is a better call.
Yeah, it might be at this point in time. Missed his one and only chance to get the advantage. So RPK with all the work all inside of the underpass, or rather working back up toward the apartments from that position. Catches out the aggression of ENCE, catches out the round. What's your favorite Chinese delicacy?
Oh, I guess I only really eat westernized Chinese food.
I know, which is not even close based on walking around today.
Yeah.
I mean, based on being here before, I knew that already, but like if you just looked around the mall today, none of that's available where we are.
Yeah. I don't know. We had some really good authentic Chinese food when we were here last time.
Oh, so good.
I don't remember what.
Mine's the fortune cookie, which is very westernized.
Very westernized, yeah. I like, do you know what a prawn cracker is?
No.
I don't know how to really describe a prawn cracker. So I'll work it out and then I'll get back to you.
Get back to me. All right, let me know. Report back.
It might not even be like Chinese, so that could be the problem. Maybe we just call them prawn crackers in Australia.
Yeah, probably Australian. Chad?
Might be a shrimp cracker somewhere else in the world.
Shrimp cracker, yeah. Well, Ariel's going to smoke himself inside of the connector position.
Okay, prawn cracker, also known as prawn chips and shrimp puffs, are deep-fried crackers made from starch and prawn that serve...
Can I see a picture of one?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I have maybe had one. They look like the wavy style. They're like...
They're quite crunchy.
Yeah, I think I've had those. Sergey sitting inside of the site with just the USP. Unfortunately, MBK's already invaded their territory, and he continues to try and do so. But X7 gets him down. It's Zaiwu that once again becomes menacing. Only 13 kills today. I say that because yesterday he had 30 by round, what was it, 21, maybe even 19, something like that. He was well up there. I think it was round 19. But a deep nade. Bomb planted. X7 has to consider holding on to that AK-47, and Alexi B is already going to back out as well. Sees that only for him, less important, but wants to stay to protect his teammate and be there if he could trade and get the gun picked up again. Stays a little closer to connector, to be fair, because he's picked up a Galil now.
It's two decent weapons to carry through to the first gun round of the game. So, can't be too unhappy with how these rounds have unfolded for ENCE. I guess the only disappointment is it's all tied up now at 9-9. Alu has enough money to get himself that AWP. So we're not going to see too many compromises made at all. Alexi's actually opted to upgrade that Galil into the AUG, so it's gone wanting. Just going to be left at spawn on the floor. He doesn't want to touch that bad boy. RPK will be holding on to that MAC-10 where he did find success against the Force Buy. Galil for Zaiwu. So, Vitality now. I want to go for mid-control. It's not straight off the bat. The smokes and flashes will land first, and they'll actually be flashed back out of position. And Zaiwu will be able to cross. Ariel playing in the smokes here. We can see on board with him, more than happy to posture aggressively, and now he's pushing on up. His way, he's been spotted. He's dinked down Alex. Alex is going to have to flash to sustain his life, to stay alive, because he's stuck in that. Huge shot from Alex there. The trade immediately from Alexi B's grenade. So, decent exchange in middle. And Vitality are ready for this B hit.
Seven. Waits to see if they'll enter in. They certainly will. Clever moves. Not quite enough to catch off Zaiwu, but Alexi B is added to it, and that's out toward Catwalk. Zaiwu then gets inside of the department store. Unfortunately, it's not open for business today, and he's not looting. He's kicked out. Come back when they're open.
It is Sunday. That would actually be true in certain parts of the world. Shops aren't open on Sundays in some places like Germany.
So, that's true. They are still... You know what? I kind of miss when shops weren't open on Sunday. Do we really need Sunday shopping?
I think...
Well, here's the problem. Sunday shopping means the parking lots are still full, and that means it's harder to find places to do autocross. Go home and give us your parking lots.
I don't know what autocross is, and
it's like the most grassroots form of motorsports.
Really scared to say that. So we will see Vitality before we get stuck into autocross. Be able to get another buy on the board here. Zaiwu has the AWP. So I was talking about a couple of missions from their buy last time round because the Galil and the MAC-10 were carried over. This time round, it's only MBK on the Deagle. Surprised it wasn't a scout. And it's now taken back the lead, sitting at 10-9, round number 20, kicking off right here. So, at mid-approach, was saved completely by a huge shot there from Alex, who was lurking towards middle once again as the rest of the players are going towards A, but he's going to get taken down by Ariel this time, so they've gone 1 for 1 in exchanges in middle over the last 2 rounds. This time the CT getting the better of the trade experience. I'm curious about this AWP buy if they were just going to go into an A execute. I thought they'd let Zaiwu work as bullet just rattles past.
What about Woo Woo Alu?
You've already done some cool with Zawu. Let's give Zawu a little bit of attention.
All right, maybe. RPK waiting down below and sandwich his teammate above and spraying. He runs by, catches out Alexi, but Ariel's there. Zawu contending. He's already gone. X7's there in time.
There's a bit of a phenomenon, I think, like when you have players left in those kind of situations. Every kill that they get, it kind of feels like it's charging them up for the next one.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That confidence carries over. You know that you have nothing to lose. As shots hit, it's like that simple clutch that we had at the major, you know, where he crosses, oh, you know, very well, where he crosses the CT spawn and has the 1v1. I think it was with X7.
It was with X7. Went for the op and the repeat. Didn't need to, but only Simple does that.
It would have been absolutely wild if he had pulled that clutch off.
It would have been... yeah, insane. Considering he had the, like, wits to go for the spray through the boxes with so little time to work with.
What just happened there?
Zawu just wrecked Ariel all the way down middle with a couple taps from a P250.
Ariel had no idea that he could even be open from that angle, so Zawu...
okay, and he gets the gun for it. Look at the rounds.
Okay.
It's just falling apart now. One back from Alexi, that's it. Zawu's got the range game in hand. RPK's been tagged down to 8. Nade should do it. Gets over top, takes him down, but Alexi's getting him from the grave because, as we know it, he's fallen to Zawu beforehand. They now have the advantage. Gun down in the sight. MP9. Do they elect to try and get toward it? Not quite. Alex doesn't want to give up his position in Palace.
So many nades. Look at all these nades for the retake.
Is Zawu really going to go for that?
Uh-oh.
That could be a problem. I think Zawu's out of position.
He's got it. He's not going to stop.
Zawu's close.
Oh
just
my
barely.
God.
Just barely. If he hadn't have tried to go for the massive rotation toward middle, that was done. He would have been able to get back out and get the spray in. I mean, sure, no guarantee he hits the spray, but he would have been there. That cost them.
Yikes. That is a bit of a...
and it's hard to call him out because he started the round with a P250. He gets the M4. He gets the kill inside of the site. Yeah, but it's almost one of those situations where you overthought it. It was going so well that you didn't keep it simple.
I could have gotten them definitely well and truly back in this, but now it all relies on this bite. Once again, taking the mid control, players coming through the underpass. But it is an aggressive A ramp push, so we can see all the information here that ENCE have just been able to get. They've cleared that out. They can leave Sergey close, and they can hedge their bets accordingly. Meanwhile, Vitality is still spending all their time clearing out middle. Little do they know, it's theirs for the taking.
Sergey back around. Tries to push up inside of the site, but Alu gets NBK instead. RPK gets Alexi.
Well, right now, with Apex bleeding internally, the key to this is Zawu once again. Him in this window position, he's going to be offered a duel against Alu if he continues to scamper, and he will. So, Zawu trying to unlock the door on round number 22. We do have Sergey and Ariel in very awkward positions to clear. Roughly 35 seconds left on the clock. This is where they can find themselves in multi-kill territory. If they walk out with regular spacing, that might be a little bit troublesome, but Zawu knows what's up. Back to RPK. He's going to go down. Zawu with the immediate trade. Not expecting another one now. Apex on the low HP. Finds himself in a 2-on-1 situation. X7 and Ariel only have to put a bullet in his direction. He's going to fall on over, and there it is. Round number 13 on the board for ENCE here. Surviving that eco appears to be a bit of a godsend for them as they look poised to take this map with relative ease. Losing that would have put them in a very troublesome position, but now getting it done, trading efficiently, good information players across the board. Feel like they're one step ahead of Vitality. And now they're 4 rounds ahead. A little bit of a scrappy buy though. You can see that X7 has a UMP. Sergey able to get the M4 up. It's relatively even in terms of the weaponry on the board right now. I guess MBK has to pick between a Galil with utility, a little bit of utility that is, or if he wants to get something else, I mean, it will be the Galil with the smoke and the flash. So the business end of this first map here in the last series of the day. I guess we're starting to hit regular hours now for our European viewers.
Yeah, welcome aboard. Well, good morning, everybody. It's, well, good afternoon.
Good morning to the Americans.
Good morning to the Americans. It is, yeah, 11 a.m. Eastern time. X7 is going to rotate back inside of the site, try and use the quad for protection. That's going to work for one. A second as well. Alexi actually got the first one out from under his gun. He helped him do it. His presence made it possible as Alexi takes down Apex and NBK. It's all onto ZywOo. He's got one already, but needs 4 more.
This is going to be a rough one to pull his way out of this, but time is one thing that is on his side. All 3 members of ENCE are in a similar line of sight, so to speak. Alexi now juking around the pillar. He may have picked an absolutely miraculous timing here, as ZywOo is not going to be expecting him to be coming up on this van side at all. He's just missed him at every single turn, and oh, are they going to dance past each other in the night? Alexi has no idea. Oh, he's going to jump up and take down ZywOo there at the end. And now Vitality have to go for another buy. They do have the money to do so. So they've been doing the mid take, they've been harassed. You know, the only real round that they felt hugely dangerous in, other than the pistol, which they went on to win the force buy and then convert against those few saved weapons, was actually the P250 round from ZywOo. So the rounds have been coming down to, you know, 2v3s, 1v3s, that kind of stuff. It's still been the ABCs of Counter-Strike getting through. Mid control will happen once again. Alex is going to be Molotov'd out of position. Now have to go play behind the tap.
The scream, the one tap.
Yeah, well, we used to call it tap because there's a
little faucet.
There,
yeah.
Looks like a B hit though. The bomb we can see on the radar is already over towards that part of the map. Apex is going to take connecting control, and Alex is going to try and go up Cat. So pressure on X7 again.
And this time he's already lost Alexi B on Catwalk. That was exactly where he had the aid last time. ZywOo gets X7 down as well. The round, the bomb, and a very good chance that Vitality can find double digits into their 10th round. Molotov thrown off into toward concession as well. At the cashier.
ENCE don't have to go for this map. They don't need to.
Don't need to at all, and I don't think they should, based on the position in middle as well. I mean, the body language suggests from Sergey that they're not. So he stays inside of the apartments the whole time.
It's the right play for sure. So they'll hold on to these 3 guns. Vitality will get up to double digits. I wonder if they'll hammer over towards that B-bomb side again, or if we'll see an adjustment from ENCE where they pick up a secondary orb and have a player more aggressively to the Hall's position, just so they can make sure they can't be executed on that in similar fashion. There it is. The double orbs come out. Alexi's picked it up. X7 has to be dropped to UMP by Sergey, and that's more than serviceable in a plethora of different positions on a map like Mirage. So let's see if Alexi takes that orb over towards B. It appears to be true. Malu right now in middle. He's going to potentially be offered up a shot. No one's jumped across the line of sight just yet. Smoke's going to trickle onto Cat. Now it comes down to timing, but close mid is Aerial. He's done in that position battling before, and he's going to come out on top of Alex again.
Great play from Alu to find Apex pushing up Catwalk as well.
I'm really impressed, Matt, with how quickly ENCE have adjusted. I theorized the fact that they might get a secondary AWP up, and they went exactly for that, so they can't be executed on, which happened 2 rounds in a row. And now from here, I was going to say it should be easy. Getting onto the A-bomb site, NBK making sure he's pushed on out already. This could get interesting.
I'm sure they all have that music kit on already.
If not, Natu buy it for them.
Oh, he will. After he buys his new house in the French Riviera. NBK with 1. It's going to be Aerial down. X7, though, doesn't respond.
Oh.
Alu needed to hit that shot. They're going to swing. He'll hit that one instead. 50 seconds, bomb down in his sights, in his grasp. Wants to cross over. That gives himself up, though, to NBK, but it puts him in the open for Alexi B. 15 map point for ENCE on Mirage.
Pause being taken immediately from Vitality. They know their backs are against the wall right here. Everybody playing at home. I'll give it to you one more time. Second round of the Swiss here in Shanghai for StarSeries Season 7. The loser of this match will go down to a 1-1 game tomorrow. The winner will go forward to a 2-0 matchup. Now, obviously the gravitas of this is nobody's through and nobody's out. But we are getting to see these teams put through their paces. We're going to see them have their map pools tested, see where the individuals are at. You can see where their comfort zones are, that's for sure. So, the tactical timeout has ended. The pause has trickled down, and so is freeze time. Bye again for Vitality. The AWP is out for ZywOo. Will they give him a chance to work this time, or will they shackle him to a potential execute? Right now, they are quite passive because they have been harassed in middle several times by Aerial's aggression, and he is there yet again. Alu watching underpass, momentarily anyway. Now he's repositioned to connector. Aerial with back turn for flashes. And 3 members from Vitality are happy to pressure the B-bomb site where X7 is all alone with the UNC. When that smoke clears, ZywOo will be trained with the AWP, but he will have to deal with Alexi B before he can even take down X7 in that close quarter. Combat flash comes out. Alex gets the better of him. Smoke can follow. And X7 can stay exactly where he is. Doesn't have to do anything at all. And Alexi B can rotate. No dramas. As eventually, again, Aerial gets the better of the mid-duel.
And with Apex dropped, they get desperate for a smoke on Catwalk. That gives Alex a chance to at least get Aerial. Hopefully open up some ground, because there's not much left in this game for Vitality, being down as they are, and Alex on 10 HP as well. And BK slowly working his way back out from the apartments. He's spotted Sergey through the bottom of the floor. Just RPK and Alex remaining in this game, looking to conclude. So Mirage out of the way, ENCE with the win. Now he trades off RPK, and it's 10 HP against 2, and Alu finds that as well. Good start, another win. Double digits for Vitality. I think that's reasonable considering the way ENCE have looked as of late, but at the same time, it's still not good enough.
Yeah, and considering that, I was alluding to the fact that ZywOo felt a little bit quiet, especially in that first half. Still managed to end on 24 kills, so...
Yeah, that's pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah, moving on to Dust 2, you look at the form of the players across the board here. I think the only one, you know, who wasn't there was Apex, who's normally the second highest rated player for Vitality on this map. But this was, once again, the choice of ENCE. And I think when you play fundamental CS like they do, you expect to concede a certain amount of rounds, a certain amount of situations. The same thing can be said for a team like Astralis. So, par for the course. Yep. It's looking good for both teams as we move into Dust 2. I'm excited.
I'm excited as well. Dust 2 is a fun one. We ended on it last night. It's a little more open. It's a bit more of a brawl. We actually saw Vitality on it last night. Didn't really go their way, though, did it? You were probably in bed by
Didn't they win
2-0? They did, but there was a couple of rounds that were pretty lackluster.
Okay.
It wasn't like it was the most clean-cut game.
Okay,
if it weren't
so
for
it's gonna get
ZywOo...
messy.
Yeah, if it weren't for ZywOo...
Okay, so we have to look out for ZywOo doing more of what hopefully he just did.
24 kills, and he was killing it.
He was beasting it up. So let's see if he can beast it up after the break and the analyst desk.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to cs.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
update and new features in the case battles. Updated and convenient interface with new options. Up to 4 users can participate in one battle now. Create and customize your battles, any number and any type of cases. Choose the number of participants and invite your friends with a unique link. Watch the best drop and win everything. Don't miss epic battles on Hellcase.
Place your bets at gg.bet. Most popular esports titles. Deposit with convenient payment options. Cool mini games. And 24/7 support for players. Sign up now for the best esports bets at gg.bet.
As the ancient Chinese proverb once read, and I'm just going off of what I have here, easy for ENCE. So, with that, Mirage going well in their favor. Looked like they had it clearly in the bag there from the get-go, and we're going to try to lasso in some of the rationale behind it here on the desk. And of course, joined with me will be Duncan Shields and, well, we'll just say Maniac. Don't want to even try the last name.
I'm fine.
It's all over the place. Kind of like all over the place, that was Vitality. It looked like ZywOo shows up in a big way in terms of numbers, but ultimately, this French side can't bring it all in together.
No, and they need more than just ZywOo, right?
Yeah.
But I think that was an example where a team is clearly better than the other on the map. There's nothing else to say. And start on the T side, 9 rounds, playing A and B. They can show that they can do all compartments of a T side very properly. Then Vitality goes to second half, winning the pistols. You think, oh, that's a reset. You know, they might actually have a business winning this game. But no, there was no way. They never found any opening. And I thought it was so impressive how easy it was for ENCE to read Vitality. The amount of time they had the exact perfect setup of what was Vitality was throwing at them, that was so impressive. Trying to play B, 2 players from ENCE on the B app side, trying to play on middle, aggressive setup to counter that. On A, same thing. That was just too easy for ENCE to use that meme once again.
I think after watching this game, NBK should just use the Scout all the time. He's still ridiculously good with that weapon, isn't he? In contrast to, they lack fragging elsewhere. One of the toughest things about this game is it could have been so much closer a game if early on the guys from ENCE hadn't won that, like Deagle and CZ force, basically. Because when they won that one, they just broke the game wide open. They got the T side. From that point onwards, you knew you were never going to have a monster T side from the Vitality guys. They were under the gun the whole time at that point. Yeah, ZywOo gave a great fragging performance, but this was actually, again, to talk to how they played the map, this was an example of one where so many rounds that I saw ZywOo get 2 or 3 kills, they couldn't win the round off it. Like, you know, he gets shot in the back, or it doesn't amount to anything, or someone doesn't close the round, so... Like, this was a real tough one if you're a Vitality fan, because what more did you want to go your way in this one? Like, it's not like they had, 10 1v1s they lost, they were just unlucky. They got comprehensively outplayed.
I think a clear factor was Apex was not having a really good game. And the problem is, because tactically speaking, Mirage is not like one of the best maps of Vitality. If your entry fragger isn't on board, that's it. You're done. There is no like tactical background or security net to save you. And Apex was clearly needed to make like the clear entrances in the site. Vitality never had really any favorable trades to get into the bomb plant and then handle the clutch. They were always either 1-for-1 or worse.
Yeah, and you know, Maniac, you brought this up when we were watching the game. It just seemed like exactly right there in that moment where Alexi B is set up, and it just goes so fluidly in the way of ENCE so many times on their CT side. There was really no answer that Vitality had for this team.
Look at that. 4 of their players are in the top fraggers.
And between, like, obviously Sergey had a really good game, right? I think we have to say the first half, really ENCE was spearheaded by Sergey having a really good performance. But to go back to your point, Tris, ENCE were really one step ahead. It's like they were playing chess, but they could see 15 seconds in the future, and they just knew, okay, you want to go play B, we're going to have a double B app setup. You want to play middle, we're going to counter you. You want to play on A, we're going to bring one more player there. So this is usually what happens when a team really doesn't have like a deep understanding of a map, tactically speaking. They cannot find weaknesses in a very strong like CT defense, and Vitality clearly never had the answers.
Well, you want to talk about playing chess, but I mean, I guess it is ENCE holding all the cards now, because we're going to Dust 2. And this is actually the map pick of Vitality. This is where things have to heat up for Vitality. There has to be answers here. They cannot afford to have the start that they had on Mirage.
And we saw a graphic before the game with the map pool events. This is their most played map. I think it was 13 times they played it in the last, whatever that for it, I think 3 months or something like that. So you look at that, like they were only like 50% win rate, I think, so it wasn't crazy. Like there's a chance here, clearly, but you're going to need Ziwu going off and other stuff. Like actually, you see here, only 4 AWP kills. Then again, when did he ever have an AWP in his hand? Like they were strapped for economy the whole game long. So the idea that he has a game like this and then Alu has 15 AWP kills, this just shows how different the resources are going into these different 2 players.
And it's something about the way Alu is looking at all of us right now. It's just like, yeah, whatever you said, right? Mr. Shields.
He's just way overjoyed. Like, calm down. It's early on in the tournament, okay? Don't celebrate yet.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a long way to go for ENCE. And, I mean, as easy as that was for them on Mirage, Dust 2 bodes a little bit of a different story. We can take a look at the graphic here of the last 3 months and the times played. Now, a lot of green there on the side of Vitality. But, I mean, all things considered, this ENCE is well-oiled and drilled properly.
Oh, definitely. I mean, if we are looking for silver linings, or rather narratives where Vitality could take that second map, I would say that Dust 2 is in a map where ENCE have like 1 step ahead in terms of the meta. I think they are doing pretty much what everyone is doing. I haven't seen anything really crazily innovative or new to what they're bringing to the table. So maybe in that sense, Vitality are not going to get caught off guard by the tactics that they throw at them. But just individually speaking, we have seen what ENCE can do, and Alu is very aggressive, is very annoying on that Dust 2 map. As soon as ENCE will have the money advantage, Alu's going to be all over the place, picking short, picking middle again and again. So that is definitely going to be disturbing for ENCE.
That's the difference between this game today and the one against Big, because when Ziwu was going off, it was the Ziwu show on Dust 2 yesterday. Big had no answers. And in fact, AWPing-wise, like Tabson, you can't expect too much in that particular setting. Like, it's going to be tough. This is a map Alu, as you're saying, he goes off on. This is one of his favorites to play. He really makes use of the AWP on it, so that's the key man I'm looking for.
So short, and sweet. Let's talk about predictions here. Let's be realistic to ourselves and say Dust 2, is this an ENCE that can kind of roll over and push Vitality around like we just saw in Mirage? Or what are we looking at here?
I do believe ENCE have all the cards in hand to just close it 2-0. I think individually speaking, everyone has showed up when it mattered the most. I cannot see any reason why Vitality would take it. Maybe Zero goes completely crazy with the AWP and has a lot of like impact. I just don't see it happening. For me, it's going to be 2-0 ENCE.
Even if Vitality shows up and gives us a potentially map-winning performance, another thing about the ENCE team that shows how legit they are is it's so rare they get blown out. They're always double digits, they're always right close to it. Most of their losses are like 13, 16 loss, so they're going to be there in this game. It's on the Vitality guys. Let's see what they can actually do here, because I'm taking ENCE 2-0.
Yeah, and I think you do make a point there, and also this is their map pick. So let's all keep that in mind as we look forward into Dust 2. Vitality's pick, and I've heard through a little bird, if you all type start the game in chat, the game actually does start. So we're going to give that a test. In the meantime, we're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have the second map of this series with the boys.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to CS.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
I'll take that. Yes. Hells yes. Oh, armed and dangerous. Oh, hell yes.
Hellcase. Big update and new features in the case battles. Updated and convenient interface with new options. Up to 4 users can participate in one battle now. Create and customize your battles, any number and any type of cases. Choose the number of participants and invite your friends with a unique link. Watch the best drop and win everything. Don't miss epic battles on Hellcase.
Place your bets at gg.bet. Most popular esports titles. Deposit with convenient payment options. Cool mini games. And 24/7 support for players. Sign up now for the best esports bets at gg.bet.
Hi, Matt.
Hello.
We're good. Hello, everybody.
That was super fast.
Yeah, that was...
Said be ready. I was putting on my headset. Boom. There we are.
Well, you ready?
I am ready.
And I hope everybody at home is ready because we are heading into Dust 2, which is actually the choice of Team Vitality here going up against ENCE. Now, if you haven't watched many ENCE games on Dust 2 viewers at home, their CT side has a little bit of a weakness that I'm not sure ENCE have plugged just yet, and that's their B-Holt. They looked very convincing now overall when they played Astralis at Blast. That was a close game. That was a bit of a back-and-forth affair. Sergey had a fantastic Deagle Force Buy round that was amazing. But we are going to get this one underway. We'll get the knife round and we'll see who's going to be starting where.
Where are you leaning on this one? You did mention the Vitality win yesterday. I mentioned a few mistakes. Next, obviously, getting the win against MBK. Zywoo did the bulk of the lifting. Their defaults looked okay in terms of CT side, but where are you leaning?
I think it has to just be with ENCE because they win the percentage rounds, right? The ones that they should win, they're able to convert. And when you're able to do that more often than not, and then occasionally you can win a clutch, that's all you need to do to win a game, right? So I also think they're a more well-rounded unit. It feels like every piece of the puzzle fits together nicely, whereas Vitality is still working out if they're putting together the Eiffel Tower or London Bridge. So actually, that wasn't even meant to be a reference to Paris and London. That just kind of worked out.
Not bad.
Quite
Yeah,
nicely.
you've got Alex and the rest of the boys.
I'm just saying, Kiyoshima, get him out of that Cloud9 contract, get him into this team, and maybe cooking with gas. But you know, I was talking about those bigger chairs before, Matt. There's one that MBK is using. See how his is like much broader towards the top, and everybody else has the little.
Okay, yeah, it's like a square too,
yeah,
eh?
It's maybe
it's almost like an anime version.
Maybe it's better for your back. I don't know.
I know that like in other companies and chairs, I'm sure DX Racer does it too. You can buy different widths for your body size as well.
If you're a big boy or girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what I want to notice here is, first of all, ENCE, they had their resurgence back into the game against Australis literally off of that dig around that I'm talking about. That's kind of how they were able to apply pressure to the economy. They were able to snowball from that point, and it was more of a back-and-forth affair in that second half. But in the first half, I still notice a couple of issues with their B defense. So they will have the, I guess, lucky task of starting on their T side. X7 and Sergey, you would say you put those two names together, right? Sergey being one of the stars of this squad, and X7 being fantastic at setting other players up, and he obviously had a blistering performance in the playoffs of the major. You think those two names alone should be able to defend the B bomb site, but lots of teams were just exploiting the fact that they get lackadaisical and rely on their utility to lock off the tunnels, pushing through Molotovs. Na'Vi stole it off Hellraisers who were doing it. Other teams have done to punish the mid to Bs as well. We'll look at some positive things that Alu does in transition with the AWP. Obviously, he plays that mid-long position, the car, the ramp. He likes to go close short to the 50 line. He works good around that when they're using flashes and Molotovs to push him off. He'll just dip back a little bit further and give himself another angle to take a shot at. So lots of good. I think ENCE have all the right players in the right positions. I'm not kind of sure what they need to do to make sure that their B-bomb site can't be exploited anymore, but we will be getting underway with the pistol round right now. Apex Diffuse Kit 2 flashbangs over there on the side of things for ENCE. As we saw on Mirage, Alu picking up the Deagle on the pistol rounds. Alexi B with some utility.
We're going to have a pistol battle through mid.
He's not actually taking the duel. He's kind of just spotting, which is a bit unfortunate. I'd love to see the Deagle take on the USP at that range. ENCE earlier just waiting to see if there's any aggression coming out from Vitality. They have a 3-man B lean right now with RPK spotting for information on Catwalk, and Alex staying over towards the car position for long. There's an exchange of damage early, and well, there goes the kit, there goes the flashes. The utility is out of the round very early, as X7 will open the account on Dust 2. And now they'll take short control. So, we do have some beeping going on in the background.
You thought it was due to your mic not
yeah,
working.
I was like,
that was pretty funny.
Technical issue, but
RPK is overrun. X7 gets the kill on top of the site. Aerial, meanwhile, trying to slide out, but he's assassinated from behind as X7 takes over long. It was well coordinated, well struck, and with all of the kills so far in this pistol, NBK unable to do probably much in this round. Okay, just keep that going. A couple more headshots.
It's the caster's curse, right? So over towards Catwalk here. NBK 4 to find. We've seen him in a position, especially on that CT-sided pistol of Mirage as well, that he was the last man standing, if I remember rightly, and just trying to hold on to it, hold on to his armor if he could. Eventually he would get taken out of the equation by Aerial. And the first round of the game on board for the Finns here.
That's the way they started out on Mirage as well. They'll double it up, perhaps as they did then too in the second half. They've won all the pistols so far. X7, good look at mid, and then again he went and took out long from this position. I thought it was actually the flank that came in from long that did that, so Sergey didn't quite get that kill at the car, but still the round is won. Same result. Alu trying to get out toward long now with an AK, in fact just pushing against the door, holding the angle. Headshot placement is there, flashes as well. He sprays in. The spray won't work, even with the placement, because they got by him, and they've actually taken down Aerial as a result. So one in the pit.
Shouldn't be too hard to deal with here for the ENCE squad. As I say that, Alu gets dinked up. RPK continues to peek and harass. Pushing out to the blue bin. Sergey is doing the best he can. They're going to smoke and maybe skedaddle, maybe get out of town. Maybe they don't actually like this fight. Pushing up mid right now is Alex. He's about to have a duel with X7, who knew something was up. And there's a lot of movement all over the map right now from ENCE, as they can't seem to make up their mind. They have the bomb. Alexi pushes into B a little bit haphazardly. He'll be taken down, and now the number advantage and the HP advantage falls in favor of the French. They don't have the weapon advantage at all, though. So that might be a bit of a problem.
RPK, though, finally gets removed from his home. And BK pushed off of it. X7's going to get the shot back with the AK. Good find as the AK gets just one before the smoke blooms. Apex not much to do. UMP in hand. Low enough HP, mind you, that if he finds Sergey and finds Alu, you might get away with something on this. But he's going to try and rotate it around, perhaps even save the weapon. Does he turn right or left here? Okay. Out toward long for exits, perhaps. So the round should be gone. If he knew the HP, maybe he'd give it a crack. But the AK from X7 certainly makes things problematic.
Crazy how dangerous that round looked for ENCE, and they're still able to walk away. But relatively cleanly, right? They should hold on to these AKs unless Apex pushes aggressively.